Worked at a camp for kids with HIV twice. So, the summer after my junior year in college was the second time, and with the same group of kids. The first day, as tends to happen, all the kids realize all the stuff they've forgotten to bring. Usually it's something we have, like a towel or sunscreen or swim trunks. But this time, one of the kids, Kenny, forgets his medication at home. Now it's a sleepaway camp outside the city, so me and another counselor have to drive back to his house to get it. Obviously no extra HIV meds hanging around. So, we get in the clunky camp van and drive the almost 2-hour trip to his mom's house. By the time we're getting there, it's already starting to get dark, and it's kind of that in-between twilight time where you can still see fine, and it looks like the sun might still be up, but it's really just dipped below the skyline. As we pull up to this 4-story townhouse, the street is packed with little kids, playing in a fire hydrant, and a group of about 4 playing stickball, and 2 tiny kids having a water gun fight, and some little girls playing jump rope. As we pull up in the van, Kenny's mom trudges over to the window of the van. She flashes a polite smile, and I notice that her eyes are bloodshot. In Spanish, she jokes about how her little boy is always forgetting his something. How he's forgetful like his dad was about things. How she's starting to forget things like her husband did when he was around because of her AIDS. Then something cracks in her voice. She says she went to the doctor yesterday, and he told her that she doesn't have a lot of time left. And she's afraid that there's no one left to take care of her kids. Her oldest son locked up on a drug charge, and her second oldest, Julio, recently paralyzed when he got shot. He's been in the car for 3 hours, you know. He won't go upstairs. I just don't have the strength. He's so stubborn. He won't listen to anybody. They live on the 4th floor of this townhouse. 4 flights of narrow, steep steps that need to be climbed to make it up to his room. Usually, a couple men from the neighborhood help carry him up the stairs. But today, no one is around. It's just a few moms and kids. And of course, he doesn't want to have to ask one of his friends to carry him up to his room. He peed on himself, you know. He can't help it. It's not his fault. I tell him that, but he just gets mad and tells me to shut up. He won't let anybody go near him. I told him he can't sit there forever. I can see a silhouette in the passenger seat, leaning across toward the driver's side window, yelling out to the kids in the street playing stickball, whistling and making wisecracks and quips, playfully clowning the kid up to bat, who must be on his 8th strike and is still batting. Carlos, can you please just try to talk to him? Maybe he'll let you convince him to call one of his friends or something. Her head pressed against the driver's side door, her weight buckling. So I turn off the car and get out. Start walking over towards the worn-down Hyundai, not really having a fucking clue what I'm going to say. As I look in, I see this handsome, proud Puerto Rican kid sitting there. His facial hair all shaped up perfectly, a gold chain around his neck with a cross on it. I know this kid. He must have been that playboy smooth cat in high school. I just knew it. That guy who was the best at everything but never really seemed like he was trying. That cat that picks up a tennis racket for the first time and beats a varsity player. Or that guy that played guitar and piano and didn't know how to read sheet music. He was definitely that kid. I offer my hand out to him. What's up, Julio? How you feeling, hermano? I'm Carlos. What's going on, man? He looks up at me with a kind of vague familiarity. Yo, Carlos, what's good, kid? So you're Kenny and Isabella's counselor at the camp, right? Yeah, I seen your van when you was pulling up. Yeah, you know how forgetful Kenny is. He forgot half his stuff for the trip. All he brought was shorts and swim trunks, so I got to go upstairs and grab the rest of the stuff for him. Yo, Kenny won't put on his kicks if I don't remind him to put them on. He's always walking around barefoot. I'm like, yo, Kenny, what happened to your Jordans I bought you? Why are you walking around barefoot? Yeah, Kenny is forgetful for sure. Well, I'm going up anyway. You want to roll up with me? Nah, chilling, dog, chilling. I'm just playing with the kids right now, taking in the sights, you know what I'm saying? Plus, I can't really use my legs right now, so it's kind of hard, you know what I mean? I know what he means, what he really means. But I tell him, yo, we'll do it real quick. And I think your mom really needs you upstairs. I think she's really stressed out. Yo, dog, that'd be fresh. You sure? Nah, forget it. You sure? I'm sorry, I know it's kind of weird and shit. All right, Carlos. I slowly opened the rickety car door. I noticed his wheelchair folded up in the empty back seat. I noticed a spotless pair of brand new Air Jordans on his feet that matched the shirt he's wearing. Sorry for the fucking piss smell, man. You know these fucking kids at the pool got me all wet and shit. It's just fucking kids though, you know? I reached down, trying to stabilize myself between the street and sidewalk curb, trying to get a good foundation to pick his 160-pound frame from the car, using every ounce of strength to try to do it as quickly and casually as possible so as not to make him self-conscious. But it's so much harder than I thought it was going to be. For a second, I'm thinking I'm about to make a fool of myself, not able to pick him out of the car. I'm looking for anything to make this happen. Start praying to a God I never even tried to pray to. Pray to God to give me just this one blessing, to give Julio this one blessing. God, please let me carry him up to this apartment. I know we're not really that tight, but I'm a good dude. My arms struggling to not buckle under his weight. Trying not to breathe heavy, so Julio can still be allowed to be a man even with another man carrying him. Trying to not sweat and struggle and strain. Finally, I get him out of the car. Trying to keep our casual and relaxed rapport going. Yo, Julio, nice chicks, man. I've been looking for those. We get to the steps in front of his house. I start counting them to take my mind off his weight. I lift my head to the sky so he can't see my eyes welling up. He sits in my arms, slightly reclined, like he's in a lowrider or an easy chair, trying to hold on to his dignity, his pride, as all the kids he was just making fun of stop playing and watch. All the moms stop their gossiping and watch me hold another man in my arms as the light is starting to fade. Watch my clumsy feet try so hard not to trip. Watch sweat pour down my face, me trying so hard to play it off. Yo, good looking out, dog, Julio says with tension in his jaw. Yo, don't even stress, man. Sorry I'm kind of heavy. Ain't been able to play ball too much lately, he says. We finally make it inside the building, beginning to slowly climb the steep and narrow steps. One story, and then two. And then some stumbling up to the third, but no catastrophe. Me trying so hard to play it off like I almost meant to trip. Trying to breathe casually. Trying to not strain. So that we can think that his weight is manageable. My feet feeling like 2 blocks of cement inside clown shoes. Snagging on every single crack and nail and rivet. Then halfway up the final set of stairs, he rests his head against my chest, softly lays it up against my collarbone. 2 Latino men, trying so hard to both be men, his head buried in my chest. I trip and stumble my way up to the 4th floor, struggle to get his apartment door open. And finally, lay him on his bed. I spot a PlayStation next to the TV. Soaked in sweat and feeling a pinch in my eyes, I'm looking for anything to distract me. Yo, Julio, stay up, man. We'll rock some PlayStation next time, alright? I laugh and give him a pound. Then I look into his eyes, filled with tears. I feel a knot swelling in my throat. His jaw starts to quiver, but no words come out, as if he can't make them. Then finally, Carlos. Gracias, hermano.